about that. Yeah. Anyway, I was talking about that looked like the last thing that they got was Urban Legend. I was talking about Rebecca Gayheart.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert again. If you want to watch Urban Legend before I explain it, turn it off. Um, but yeah, in Urban Legend, she was the killer,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that there's a story there that they could bring those two girls back from Scream 2 and make them the killer and want to get revenge on Sydney because they're seeing all these other Ghostface attacks happen. Like, just because they weren't successful doesn't mean they can't be. So, like, they start their own killing spree.
Absolutely.
So, I think there is a motive right there. See, I want a real creative motive. I'm so sick and tired of them treating the killers to be fans.
I see. There's a couple things I have a problem with the new series that they have within the series. One, they show the killers being astronomically strong. Then when they reveal the killer, you go, these pipsqueaks lifted these other characters that shouldn't be that easy to lift like they have. They're running faster. They're doing. There's no way this person is doing all of this, and I feel like they're doing that on purpose too. Like, because they haven't shown the main person that's behind all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's where this is heading, where there's somebody. All these minions are basically are these killers for these ones leading up to whatever they're trying to get to. Whether it's Scream 10, whether it's Scream whatever. I don't know how many of these we're going to get. Let's just say it does go to 10. That's the big reveal at 10, let's say. Oh, but getting there, all these are minions. And then it makes sense. You got what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I got.
Or
Yeah.
if the next one is supposed to be the big reveal, let's just get to the big reveal because these guys look like shit.
Yeah. I'm just so
But
sick and tired of them getting stab fans to be the killers. I'm
yeah,
like, yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Okay, we had two of them now. Let's go back and let's get a real kill. Let's get a real character in there with a real motive. That's not a stab fan. Obviously, the Ghostface
I
killings
mean
are.
they could be a stab fan, but let's get a real motive
Yeah,
behind
yeah.
it.
I mean, okay, they a Ghostface killing spree is iconic because of the stab movies. Like that's fine, but like don't like have them like drooling over the stab movies. Like they know who all the characters are from the past because of the stab movies.
Yeah.
Like let's just I just want a real motive because we haven't had a real motive since Scream 4. I thought the motive in Scream 4 was brilliant. I like the idea of them. See, Scream 4 came out in 2011. In 2007 we got Rob Zombie's Halloween. In 2009, I think it was, we got a remake of Friday the 13th. And in 2010, we got a remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. And a couple of other movies have been remade during that time. Scream decided to go with a sequel, and they used the idea of
And
remakes.
Scream 3 was in Hollywood, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah, and they decided to use the remake idea for the killers, and I thought that is freaking genius. I didn't even
mm,
think about that. They're trying to remake the original story, um, with them being the new stars now, because originally it was Sydney and Randy who were the surviving teenagers. Gail survived, Dewey survived, but they were adults, and the teenagers that survived were Sydney and Randy.
true.
And now in Scream 4, the killers were Jill and Charlie. Jill was played by Emma Roberts. Charlie was played by Rory Culkin. And they, Charlie actually did say, "We're the new." Got it figured out yet, Sydney? Keeping with our remake theme, Trevor is this generation's Billy Loomis, and we're the innocent victims, Sydney and Randy.
That's sort of what I was trying to say that they should probably do going forward, where they take on the roles of what's happened, sort of, but with a twist. But I don't know. See, I feel like Scream, in a way, kind of wrote itself into a corner with the way they've done what they've done. But at the same time, I think it can be revived too. If they go the right route with the next one, I'm curious to see where they'll take it. Do you see the main person becoming evil?
The main person, meaning Sam?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Because a lot of people fandom is saying that's a possibility going forward.
Yeah, but I mean, what can you do with that? If a character turns evil, all they can do at the end is die.
Not necessarily. They could be the new killer going forward. Is what I'm saying.
I know, but what are you going to have the same Ghostface killer for the next couple Scream movies?
Maybe.
No, I don't want that. No, no. I think Sam shows to be more of a strong-willed character. The way she fights off the psycho side. I love that she sees visions of Billy because I'm happy that Skeet Ulrich is back.
Same. I honestly
Skeet
I know.
Ulrich. I don't know how you say his last name.
Yeah.
I forget how you say it. But
I've always said that there might be a possibility that they actually bring him back. Do you see that?
Billy?
Mm-hmm.
No, he's dead. He got shot in the head.
Yeah. I mean, they did that with Halloween. They could maybe do it with Scream. Rob Zombie version. I'm saying.
Yeah, but I don't think people really take Rob Zombie's movies that seriously. I mean, he sure as hell doesn't. his movies are a mess.
Yeah. True.
I mean, he has come up with some really cool
Killer things with. There's a couple of his that he's done that I like.
I mean, Rob Zombie's first Halloween was great, but you got to remember he also had John Carpenter's story that he had to retell with his.
I love the first one of his.
So do I.
With Halloween, and I love what's that other one? House of a Thousand Corpses and
Devil's Rejects.
Devil's Rejects, and I like. It's in the same realm. I think it's called 31. It's those three are pinnacle for Rob Zombie. But anything outside
Is
of
31 successful?
It's all right.
Or 31st? Is that what it's called?
31, 31st, something like that. It was all right. It wasn't the greatest thing, but it wasn't the worst.
Right. Yeah, I don't know because he did House of a Thousand Corpses.
Devil's Rejects.
Then he did Devil's Rejects, and then he did Then he did Halloween.
Yes.
Then he made Halloween 2. He wanted to make a movie called Tyrannosaurus Rex, but the studio was like, "There's no way in hell we're giving you that much money to make that movie." So, yeah, I don't think they felt that.
And he wanted to. He tried to do a series for Jurassic Park as well, and that got turned down.
He was supposed to do something about the Philadelphia Flyers. I don't know what happened.
He's still doing that. I just don't know when that's coming out.
He is still doing it?
Yeah, he's gonna. It's called the Broad Street Bullies.
Oh.
He's still doing it, but I don't. I have no idea when that's going to be done because he's been talking about that for like a couple of years.
That'd be interesting.
And he's currently doing a series of the Monsters because the Monsters did really well. So he'll be doing a series for that soon.
Yeah. All right, so let's go back to Scream 6 for a minute.
Yep.
What did you think was the best Ghostface kill in the movie?
Ooh.
I know that me and you have had different opinions about the ladder scene.
I'm not even going to go there with this talk, but best kill in this one. That's a good question.
I'm actually going to give it to the opening. I really like that one. That's my favorite one.
Honestly, I tend to agree with that. I like the opening.
Gail's chase was very good. I like when Gail got chased.
Yeah, that was good too. But
I really hate the fact that she had a boyfriend in this one.
What, Gail?
Gail had like some kind of she had a guy, some buffed up tall guy.
I don't really consider him, even though it was said it was kind of
her sex partner, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It was just
I don't really consider her having a boyfriend in this. I know she said it, but I don't know.
Well, I like that he got killed right away because like he's no Dewey.
Yeah,
he doesn't know what to expect from this.
I think she's just currently going through the motions of losing someone, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think. Did you think Gail died?
No, I know that sounds funny, but no, I had a glimmer of hope for her when it happened. Yes, I thought it looks very dire. Yes, I was crying because she is one of my favorite characters in the series. But the part of me was like, they're not going to end it here. I do think she's coming to an end
They
soon.
never should have ended it with Dewey.
No,
I already.
I don't think he's going to be dead.
I pitched an idea to David Arquette yesterday about the way they could bring him back, and he thought it was kind of funny, and he thinks it'll be. He thinks that yeah, they could do that.
Mm.
And I know that he would come back. He would love to come back, and he actually did say recently that he was pretty emotional watching Scream 6 because he wasn't in it.
I know. I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've heard interviews since too that he's done. He says he kind of wishes he'd never signed off on a possibility because he says I still don't think he's dead either, but a possibility of him being done completely. But
I don't know. I don't know.
I think there's a chance that he could come back, but let's put it this way: out of all the ones that they kind of killed off recently, he looks the most like his story's been done. But
I mean, yeah. Yeah. They've been treating the Sydney and Gale and Dewey like their side pieces, which they are now. Because it doesn't really make sense that Ghostface would continue to be after them for like every day of their lives. In the first three movies there was a reason. In Scream 4, there was a reason. It was a childish reason, but the killers wanted to be famous, so they wanted to kill Sydney.
I think there is an underlying story that if they brought everybody back for another one, there is something there. But it has to be utilized right. If we don't tell that story, no. I don't see a future for the legacy characters or whatever you want to call them now. No. But
Yeah, well,
I do still think there is a possibility to bring back almost everybody from the original.
yeah, well,
It's just a matter of, are they going to go that route? Are they going to bring Nev? Are they going to give Nev what she wants for her to return again?
I'll tell you one thing: if
So-
they're ever gonna bring Stu back, they need Sydney, so they better think of something. Because I know you don't think they need Sydney, but I want to see Sydney and Stu reunite. I want Sydney to be the main girl in that movie if they bring Stu back, because I want the history to be right.
Oh, I agree. I agree
know-
with you on that. I'm not saying I disagree, but
And I'm not
I
saying
don't. Let's put it this way: if they bring Stu back, if they do, I could see a movie with Stu coming back initially, and then let's say there's no Nev in the initial one,
hmm
but they did a follow up, and Nev's in that one. I could see it done that way. You know what I'm saying? Like they introduce Stu in the lead up to the next one, and Nev has to come back in order to kill off him or whatever the story may be.
yeah,
I could see it done that way,
it could be.
but it's
Yeah.
a possibility. Is what
Yeah, no, it could be done that way. Yeah, it could be, but I just don't want to. I want to see Sydney and Stu reunite. I want to see their chemistry again. And I'm really curious to see, like, everybody keeps saying that they want Stu back, but the question is, how would Matthew Lillard portray him now if they did? Because he's older now. Would he still be like the wacky hyper Stu that we know? It's a Scream, baby.
Yeah, we might get it. We get them both.
I hope so.
We get like a mixture of what he could be. To be honest with you, like I was saying with this last one, I really felt like it could have been him in the beginning of the movie with how brutal he was in the beginning.
Yeah.
To me, the people that they turned out to be, Scream, the three killers, didn't live up to the brutality, in my opinion, of who that could have been.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, yeah, the girl might have been brutal, but she's about the only one that really kind of fit the description of an actual killer. The old man didn't quite. I mean, yeah, he's tall enough to be able to do overpower certain people, but for his age, I was like, I don't know if he's doing all of that. And then the boy just seemed weak to me.
Well, the killers in Scream 6 were definitely weak because, for one, it was very easy. They're the new additions to the cast. They were the new cast members. Like,
Nah,
duh, really? Okay, so it is them. Okay, great. Yeah, well, duh. Like, that was hard. The new additions to the cast were the dad,
nah,
and it was the roommate, the girl, and it was the nerdy friend.
nah.
And I was like, okay, well, I bet you they're the killer. And you know, if they make and the Randy's niece, I forget what her character's name is, but is it Mindy or something? She keeps on suggesting that the nerdy boy that turned out to be the killer is the killer throughout the whole movie, and voila, she was right. And you know what? It was so easy. Guessing the killers in this movie was so easy. It was too easy. And the one that was the most surprising to me, I would say, is the dad. But I'm thinking like they can't use the dad. There is no way they would rip off Scream 2. And
I,
guess what? They did.
I I felt the easiest one was the girl, but I mean not the girl, the dad too. Um, and the girl was the hardest one
I know
for
that
me.
I know that the dad was the Ghostface killer in the latter scene. I know that that was definitely the dad. I could tell it was because um, obviously the roommate was there, and the friend, the nerdy friend. I don't remember the new actors' names, the characters. I mean,
Yeah, I don't remember the names either.
yeah, they said that he was at a computer class or whatever, study hall, whatever, and yeah, they said ask anybody.
Mm.
So he must have been there because he'll have witnesses, and you know the roommate obviously couldn't have done it because she was playing dead.
Mm. But there was a couple things that I didn't like about it. It felt like they rushed certain things. I don't like to feel like I told you. They, I saw the interviews before we saw the movie, and they were talking about like, oh, this is like the most realistic one that in the franchise. It feels really real. There's certain situations that they put the kids in or the victims in that this to me, I know I wouldn't act like that in real life, and I know you're going to read a book or you go to a movie or you go and you watch something or whatever for an escape, but I don't want to feel like you're going there and completely all logic is thrown out the door. There's certain scenes, we've talked about it with the ladder scene, where it didn't feel real to me, like a real life situation completely. And we can talk night and day on it and go back into this and say, well, if you're in that, I just don't feel like if
I mean,
adrenaline
but you
is.
got to remember, she was stabbed deep in the stomach, and that is going to prevent her from being able to move very well.
I agree to a point. Like I said, like I agree to with you on that to a point, but at the same time, I still think there would still be a strength that you'd still have to get through it when everybody else that's either been stabbed, hurt in some type of way got across, and you're just sitting in the middle. It's just, I don't know. And I know she was afraid of height too, but there's just something that just didn't feel believable completely to me in that scene. I don't know. Maybe it's not that per se, but there's something about it that didn't feel believable. And I shut down as soon as I saw it, and I was like, that was stupid, kind of a thing. But there's other things like, I don't know if it's yeah, I guess it was Halloween. I'll give you a scenario. You know how in a lot of the new horror films they have a scenario where they're being chased or something by a killer, and somehow there's a cop or something going on, and they go, "Oh, you're covered in blood and blah blah blah. You must be the killer. I'm gonna pull the gun on you."
Yeah.
That type of shit does not happen right away. Yes, the cop's going to question the person coming to them that's covered in blood. Did they come from it? Did they do something? Yes, but they would take you out of a situation if they absolutely felt like, okay, these guys are coming from some place where they're screaming bloody murder, that somebody's chasing them. They're going to take them away from that, not stand there, talk about this situation, and then hope that to God somebody comes up and stabs them in the back. Just saying. It, to me, feels off when they do those types of things. It's the progressive commercial that you see. Let's run over there and hide behind the chainsaws.
Oh yeah,
or something like that. And there's a car right over there that they can get away from the situation. Right, that's what it feels like to me, and I don't want that. I don't want the complete horror trope. I love that there are horror tropes, and they need to stay, but don't make me feel like I'm an idiot for watching those types of things, because that's not what horror to me is.
Right. Okay. All right.
Sorry about my rant, but that was my rant for today.
Yeah. Well. Okay, so what did you think about when they had the shrine to all the victims from the past? Like they had the clothes, the knives that were used to kill them.
I loved the idea, but I also felt like it was a missed opportunity. I really felt like we were going to get a big reveal there. From somebody, whether it was going to be Stu, whether it was somebody from the past and came back, maybe it was somebody we thought was killed in the original series or something, coming back. Whether I know this is a little bit far-fetched, whether it was Billy, whether it was I don't know, maybe Billy's mom, I don't know, anything. I really thought there was going to be a big reveal there, and it just was like boiling, and then.
Yeah, I know. That's definitely how it felt. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I feel like.
I just felt like there was a missed opportunity.
There definitely was.
But I also feel like they're doing sort of those things on purpose. Like Kirby mentions about a guy with a TV in this one. In the previous one, somebody mentioned something about Stu's character as well. And there's the website that, hinted at Kirby coming back. There's things like that are going forward in the series that I think Stu might be on the horizon. I don't know I don't know how we get there exactly, and if for some reason Nev's not a part of the introduction, but she's at and a part of it towards the end of whatever they're going to tell. Let's get there, but I can't wait to see how they get there. Right, if that is the way that they're going to go with this. And the guy that's writing to say he's never going to come back, I disagree with that. I think he would want to hide it from everybody.
Yeah, he probably would. Yeah.
So,
Hey, I mean, the fans are saying that they want it. Sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for, but I just hope they write a really good script if they brought Stu back.
I think either way, no matter how he comes back, with or without Nev, it's going to be good. I don't necessarily, I agree with you. I don't necessarily want to see him come back, and it doesn't have a purpose that
I mean, yeah, they could bring
he
Stu
doesn't.
back without Sydney, but I want Sydney in the
Yeah, I know
movie.
what you mean. Like I say the same thing. I want Sydney too, but if we don't, and
I'll
it's
still go
still
see the
and it's
movie.
and I'm saying and it's still good, that's all I care for. I want it to be good in the end. I want it to feel like that's what was meant to have happened. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I will say when it came to the shrine, I thought that first of all, they saved the victims' clothes, their bloody clothes. I'm thinking, why?
mm.
I thought that was a little too much.
The thing that it doesn't really clarify, at least to me, it doesn't clarify it. Is it stab memorabilia completely, or is it the
No, it's
victims?
the victims from the past Scream movies. It's
So
it's
it's
it's all their
from all the
clothes.
stabs, right?
No, from all the Scream movies.
Huh?
It was like we see Kenny the cameraman's jacket. That is from the crime scene. That's
So it
from
is
Scream.
like what I'm saying is, so it's from the crimes, right?
Yeah, from Scream, but though not from within the stab movies, not like the props or the
Yeah,
costumes.
because that's the way they led it to you to think too. Like it could have been the props as well, and I didn't like that there was a slight disconnect there because it felt like it was literally the victims, but then it also felt like it was part of the movies too, and I was like, no, if you're gonna make the shrine, it has to be all that
Yeah,
it's the victims,
yeah,
not the stab. And like I said, there was parts of the shrine that felt like it was also the movies too. And I was just like, I don't know. This is that to me was a disconnect.
yeah. I
But
guess it could be, but yeah, it was just I don't know. To me, it just felt like the fact that they would still have all that stuff is just a little too much of a coincidence. Like they had the TV that killed Stu Macher. They had guns there that were a part of the past. I'm not saying that those that evidence couldn't still be around, but what really threw me off was that they had the outfits that they were wearing when they were killed. I'm like, would that go to evidence? Their outfits?
have you ever watched Dexter?
No, not a Dexter fan.
All right. I'm gonna for anybody that hasn't, I'm gonna spoil some stuff from Dexter. In Dexter, shows that he has these blood slides, and they are trophies of each and every kill that he does. Now, I could see them do that with the shrine in a way, but usually when a killer has trophies of all his kills,
Hmm.
it's usually one particular thing, not a multitude of things. And that's what we saw differently with this movie that felt a little off. Like you said, it doesn't feel like he would have all of that, but see, I I'm not a killer, and I don't claim to be a killer.
Are you sure?
Well, maybe.
I
I
would.
don't know. Anyway, I don't drink the blood of my victims, okay?
Oh, okay.
So,
That makes it better. That makes it better. Thank you. Thank you.
but there are
Help
victims.
me!
No, but seriously, I don't claim to be, but in my opinion, I kind of agree with you. I don't think that there would be as many as he had. Exactly. As many different things. Like it's somebody's jacket here. It's somebody else's thing here. Although they are trophies in a way, but I don't
Yeah.
know. It just seems a little, I don't know
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
the word I'm looking for,
I can't think
of a stretch, a little bit, but not completely. I do think that there was an awesome idea there, but it was underutilized.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think that when it came to this movie, I think they did a good job. Like I said, I gave it an 8 out of 10. You're giving it you're still going to give it a 6.
About a 6.5. It's stretching to a 7, but it's a solid 6.5 for me.
Yeah,
So, um, and it's not necessarily like I said. It's not because it wasn't good. It just the reveal for me was it just didn't live up to what
yeah, I know.
I was expecting.
I know
I wanted something more from it, and
the
it didn't.
Ghostface scenes and the Ghostface phone calls were great, but finding out who the killers were sucked. And you know what? I don't even know if these guys that make these movies now wonder if it really matters if the Ghostface reveals are important. The point is the Ghostface scenes are.
I loved the end though, the way it made you feel like she was a victim of torment within her mind the entire time. Of do I do I press the killer inside? Do I press that button and become one, or do I press that button to use it to be not a victim but a survivor? And I just loved how they played on that at the end. I loved it. They need to do more of that in all these horror films going forward,
Hmm.
not just with Scream, but everything.
Yeah. Well,
And they have something new there.
we do have the Friday the 13th prequel coming out on Peacock, so we'll see how that is. I feel like it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be like Bates Motel kind of. The mother,
Mm,
they have the mother probably in the lead, and they're gonna have this Jason being the second.
apparently, there's two series. One's going to Netflix and one's going to Peacock. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, there's a Friday the 13th for Netflix, and then there's a Friday the 13th for Peacock, like you said.
Hmm.
And then there's supposedly a Nightmare on Elm Street thing coming soon too. And then there's a fan film I got to tell you about with Nightmare that's coming out soon too. It's supposed to be Dylan's story
I
or
still
something
gotta
like
make
that.
one. Yeah, I still gotta make one. I have a, I'll tell you something. The reason why, the films that I make are kind of like slacking a little bit is because it's very hard for people to find time to make them with their schedules. I got cast members that are married. I have cast members that have kids now. Everybody's working, and everyone's working different hours, and it's just tough. And every time I see, it's what sucks for us that a lot of people that make fan films start when they're in high school. I graduated from high school in 2011, and the first fan film that I ever made, official one, is was Friday the 13th with you guys, and that was in 2015. We had a good time making that, but
That was fun.
that was really fun. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's fun doing the Scream stuff too, but it doesn't really compare to how much fun Friday the 13th was. You never forget your first, right? Never forget your first. It's that.
No.
It's those situations, but yeah, it's up there. It's
Yeah.
up there. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's I want to do Batman. I'm gonna do Halloween. I'm gonna do Friday the 13th, and I have my own original idea that I want to do. But I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do it because I obviously am gonna have a little bit of a small cast, but I have to make sure it's a good, long enough video. I want it to be over 20 minutes. I don't like making like these 5 to 10 minute videos. It's just not my thing. I want to do bigger than that. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do something down the road. We'll be able to. I know you're gonna be a part of Nightmare on Elm Street when that happens. Unfortunately, our one friend Tim, that's going to be a part of it. If he still wants to be, I know he tells me that he would love to, but he does have kids, so it is hard for him to find time. And, it sucks because everybody says that they can do it after work, but unfortunately, when they get done work, they're exhausted. I get it. I'm tired too. I'm driving all over the place because of my job.
I hear you.
But
Life.
I had just recently got done working for a TV show that I'm gonna be an extra in, so that that was really fun. But yeah, that's another thing I'm doing on the side, trying to raise money for the films. Another thing is expenses. The costumes and everything, the props, very expensive. So hopefully everything will be
In tip-top shape soon.
soon. Yeah, but I think we pretty much covered everything when it comes to Scream Six, don't you?
I think so.
We didn't do it like kind of like in the correct order. We kind of like jumped off because like there's like mainly
There's there's so much to talk about, and
yeah.
there's so much to really divulge over the entire series too. Maybe we'll do that in another
Yeah,
episode of whatever, and go into further deep dive or whatever.
yeah, yeah. All right. So, yeah, I know we kind of like went out of order a little bit. So we like jumped right to the end with the killers, but the killers was my big problem. The killer
Yeah,
reveal was the biggest problem of the movie, I thought, because I thought it was just too easy. I thought it was too boring.
I totally agree.
But the rest of the movie I thought was really good. I enjoyed it.
Agree.
Yep. All right. Well, this will do it for this video. So hopefully I know that hopefully we'll do another Q&A sometime. We'll have to do that at night when everyone's got more free time available.
I've been Joe. He's been Joe. We've been married, and yeah,
yeah,
enjoy this movie review.
You're Joe. I'm Joe. I Wumbo. You Wumbo.
He, she, me.
So, but anyway, yeah, we'll do a Q&A sometime. Sometime hopefully this week. Maybe we can do something.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right. Well, we'll figure something out. But anyway, thank you for everyone that was able to tune in today. Sorry we can't answer any questions right now, but hopefully we'll be able to talk more about Scream 6 in the future and what we'll like to see in Scream 7.
And if you have any suggestions, we'll read them later. For a movie review that you'd like to hear us talk about, let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
all right, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning in, and I'm Joe.
I've been Joe, and thank you for J&J Movie Review.
J&J Movie Review. Yeah, I should probably do that instead of Gibney Productions. I think that's probably too simple, too easy. So yeah, we'll do J&J Movie Review. J&J Movie Review. That's not bad. That's not bad.
So
like Ed, and Eddie. We just need a. I'm Jay. I'm Jay. I'm Joey. Or something. Alrighty, guys. Take care. Thanks a lot.